Hello everyone. Welcome to Health Countdown. In this video, we will be talking about top 10 habits that can have severe impact on your brain. Our brain serves as the control system for all activities that occur in our body. However, there are several bad habits that can have a harmful impact on our brain health, which is why it is important to be aware of them. Number 1. Skipping breakfast. Breakfast is important for providing the brain with the necessary glucose and energy to function optimally. Without this fuel, the brain may struggle to concentrate and focus, leading to decreased productivity and a more difficult time completing tasks. When we skip breakfast, our bodies may enter into a state of stress, as they are not receiving the necessary nutrients and energy to function properly. This can lead to the release of stress hormones like cortisol, which can have a negative impact on the brain and body over time. Research has shown that skipping breakfast can impair memory and learning abilities, particularly in children and adolescents. This can have long-term consequences for academic performance and career success. Breakfast is also important for regulating mood and emotions. Skipping breakfast can lead to imbalances in neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine, which are linked to depression and anxiety. Number 2. Overeating. Overeating can lead to the buildup of a protein called beta amyloid in the brain, which can impair cognitive function and increase the risk of dementia. Overeating can lead to altered mood, including feelings of depression and anxiety, which can impact mental health and well-being. Overeating can also reduce neuroplasticity, or the brain's ability to adapt and change, which can impact learning, memory, and overall cognitive function. Overeating has a bad impact on sleep quality, leading to daytime fatigue, reduced productivity, and an increased risk of accidents. Number 3. Smoking. Smoking is a significant risk factor for stroke, a condition that can lead to brain damage and cognitive impairment. Research shows that smokers are twice as likely to have a stroke compared to non-smokers. Cigarettes contain nicotine, an addictive substance that can affect the function of neurotransmitters in the brain, including dopamine, serotonin, and norepinephrine. This can lead to mood disorders, such as depression and anxiety. Smoking can also reduce the amount of oxygen that reaches the brain, which can cause damage to brain cells and impair cognitive function. Smoking is also associated with an increased risk of mental health disorders, including depression, anxiety, and schizophrenia. Number 4. High sugar consumption. Sugar consumption has been associated with an increased risk of depression. High sugar intake can cause fluctuations in blood sugar levels, which can lead to mood swings and decreased mental health. Consuming too much sugar can lead to reduced brain volume, particularly in the hippocampus, which is responsible for memory and learning. This can lead to long-term damage to the brain. High sugar intake has been linked to an increased risk of dementia. This is because excess sugar in the bloodstream can cause inflammation in the brain, which can lead to the development of Alzheimer's disease. High sugar intake can also disrupt sleep patterns, making it difficult to get a good night's sleep. Number 5. Sleep deprivation. Lack of sleep can impair your ability to think clearly, concentrate, and remember things. You might find yourself making silly mistakes, forgetting important details, or struggling to come up with creative ideas. Sleep deprivation can also affect your mood and emotions. You might feel irritable, anxious, or depressed, and find it hard to control your emotions. This can strain your relationships with others and make it difficult to function in daily life. Sleep deprivation can also stifle your creativity, making it harder to come up with new ideas or solve problems. This can be a major hindrance if you work in a creative field or need to think on your feet. Number 6. Chronic stress. Chronic stress can cause the hippocampus, which is responsible for memory and learning, to shrink in size. This can lead to memory problems and difficulty in learning. Chronic stress can also increase the risk of depression and anxiety by disrupting the balance of chemicals in the brain. Chronic stress can also impair the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for decision-making and judgment. This can lead to poor decision-making skills and impulsive behavior. Number 7. Alcohol consumption. Alcohol can impair your ability to form new memories, causing you to forget important events or information. Have you ever woken up after a night of heavy drinking and struggled to remember what happened the night before? That's because alcohol affects the hippocampus, the area of the brain responsible for memory formation. Long-term alcohol consumption can cause the brain to shrink, leading to a variety of cognitive and behavioral problems. This can affect your ability to think clearly, make good decisions, and regulate your emotions. Alcohol can slow down your brain's ability to process information, making it harder to react quickly in potentially dangerous situations. This is why drinking and driving is so dangerous. Even a small amount of alcohol can impair your ability to react to unexpected events on the road. Alcohol consumption can increase your risk of developing dementia later in life. This is because alcohol can damage the brain's white matter, which is responsible for transmitting signals between different parts of the brain. Number 8. Drug abuse. Drugs can interfere with the way neurons in the brain communicate with one another, leading to impaired cognitive function, memory loss, and difficulty with decision-making. Many drugs can alter the levels of neurotransmitters in the brain, such as dopamine and serotonin, which can lead to mood swings, depression, and anxiety. Some drugs, such as cocaine, can trigger seizures in individuals, leading to potential brain damage and other health complications. Drug abuse can also increase the risk of developing mental illnesses, such as depression, anxiety, and psychosis, which can have long-term effects on brain function and overall health. Number 9. Lack of mental stimulation. Lack of mental stimulation leads to a reduction in the brain's ability to change and adapt, which can negatively impact brain plasticity. This means that the brain may become less efficient at processing and responding to new information over time. A lack of mental stimulation can lead to a decrease in creative thinking and problem-solving abilities. The brain needs to be challenged to develop new ideas and find innovative solutions to problems. Lack of mental stimulation has been linked to a higher risk of depression. When the brain is not actively engaged, it can become more prone to negative thoughts and feelings, leading to a greater risk of mental health problems. Research has suggested that a lack of mental stimulation may increase the risk of substance abuse. This is because individuals may turn to drugs or alcohol as a way to alleviate boredom or fill a void in their lives. Number 10. Not drinking enough water. When your body is dehydrated, your brain doesn't get enough oxygen and nutrients, which can lead to impaired cognitive function. This can cause difficulties in thinking, memory, and concentration. Chronic dehydration can cause the brain to shrink, which can lead to neurological problems such as seizures, headaches, and brain damage. Dehydration can potentially cause irritability, mood swings, and even depression. Your brain needs water to produce neurotransmitters that regulate your mood. Dehydration can also increase the risk of stroke by making the blood thicker and more difficult to pump through the body. So, these were the top 10 bad habits that can have a harmful impact on your brain. But, now that you have a little bit of insight about these habits, here's a good news, that you can always change these habits and maintain the health of your brain. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked our content, then please subscribe to our channel. Goodbye.